Right, my special guest today is Kimberley Hattersley-Barton. But let me start by asking a general question. Everybody knows somebody who's had cancer. My own mum had it, I'm afraid. But not many people have had 4 different types of cancer and are still here to tell the tale. And somebody who has lived through that, and she's only 26, is Kimberley, and she joins me live in the studio today. And can I just say, Kimberley, it is lovely to have you in the studio with me after everything you've been through. Can you just share with us what happened to you? When was the first time that you were diagnosed?
So when I was 13 months old, I had a rare childhood cancer on my bladder called rhabdomyosarcoma. That was literally when I was a baby, and I was treated straight away into emergency surgery that had chemotherapy, radiotherapy, over 6 months or so. I had to have numerous operations for that one, and I think I was about 3 years old in the end when eventually everything had got finished up with that.
But that was the first one.
Yeah.
And obviously that must have been hugely traumatic for your family. I mean, you were quite tiny, weren't you, at the time? But then you got another one.
Yeah, so I can't remember that first one at all because I was a baby. But then when I was 18, I got a sore tongue. I realised I had a lump at the back of my tongue. I had braces at the time, so that's how I'd spotted the lump. And went to the hospital, and I just got up front told in the clinic that it was malignant tongue cancer. It spread to my neck at that point as well because it had gone a few stages in. And within a matter of a month, I'd got the back third of my tongue removed and a neck dissection, which was to remove the lymph nodes and what had spread into my neck at that point. But yeah, that was just the second one. I was 18 in 2016 for that one.
And then having got over that one,
yeah,
you must have felt at this point somebody really got it in for you.
Yeah, because I couldn't believe when I got diagnosed with my second one that you could get cancer twice almost. So I was devastated by that because, like I say, I'd lived with health conditions up to that point from the first childhood cancer, so I was very aware of the hospital lifestyle, but I'd not first-hand experienced it. So after that whole hurdle, and that was quite intense because I had radiotherapy for that as well, my tongue actually got sorer the following few years after, and I knew something weren't right. And then literally the peak of COVID, when everyone had just gone into lockdown, I'd been told to shield because I was vulnerable because of my health already. I had my normal follow-up clinic appointment, and then everything just escalated really quick, and got told again, yeah, we've got something going on here, there's another growth happening. So again, another surgery and another neck dissection, and yeah, that was the third one out of everything. That was a bit of a shock, but not completely, because my tongue was really sore at that point. I was struggling to eat a bit.
Okay. All right. And then the last one?
It was such a blur because the surgery from the 2020 third cancer, they didn't think it had spread to my neck because it was first stage. It was very early, but because of my history, they did a surgery in the neck anyway, and that came back clear for the head and neck cancer, but then they found thyroid cells from that. So after 2020, I was under surveillance scans just to check in and making sure everything was fine, and then in 2022, a couple of years later, realised there was a change in the scans, and then they picked up the thyroid mutations had started growing properly.
Right. I mean, they must monitor you really closely.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm constantly in clinics and getting looked at by different teams to cover all the bases. Yeah. But I mean, that's a lot of different clinics. Now, somebody told me that you actually set up a spreadsheet to manage your hospital appointment. Is that right? Yeah. Yeah, back in 2020 when I'd had the third diagnosis, I, like anyone, had time to kill in lockdown, so I went back through all my diaries and put in all the appointments between 2016 to 2020, and then kept it going ever since. So there's a tab for appointments, there's a tab for different contact details. It's just in there, and it's honestly one of the best things I've ever made, really. It's been so helpful just to be able to go in there and keep on track of everything.
Goodness me. So if anybody needs any like spreadsheet consultancy, you're the person to talk to, I guess.
Oh yeah, all my friends, yeah, they always just make a remark about it. If there's ever a spreadsheet, they always say, yeah, Kim's the one to help you with that.
Brilliant. Well, I mean, I've said to you before we came on, I think it's just a remarkable story, and it's remarkable how strong you are, actually. Look, you're making me cry now, but it's just remarkable how strong you are. Just stay there. We're going to come back and talk to you a bit more, because there's loads of other stuff I want to talk to you about kind of after all this stuff has happened. So just stay with us, and I'll be back with Kimberley, probably about, I don't know, 25 to 1, something like that. Coming up next, it's Travis. So we're back speaking to my special guest, the very lovely Kimberley Hattersley Barton. Now, in the first bit of our chat, we talked a bit about kind of what had happened to you, with your multiple occurrences of cancer and stuff. But what's your life like now? Do you still think you're under, surveillance all the time?
It's a bit of a mix of things, really. I'm constantly in clinics and getting monitored, but a lot of them now that I'm in remission, it's all stable. It's just every few months, some could be once a year. It's a real variety depending which clinic it is. And then everyday lifestyle, it varies because you've got the long-term late effects of all the treatment. So some days you can just be steady away and fine and enjoying things, getting on with lifestyle, and then other days you can just be so fatigued and wiped out, and some days I'll even struggle still walking and I can get breathless. And when you think of a big picture of what I might seem I could be able to do normally, it doesn't add up completely. So the everyday lifestyle really varies, but I am really lucky to be doing what I'm doing overall, and I enjoy where I'm at.
Yeah, I mean, the treatment itself is really quite harsh, isn't it? And I can tell, that you've been through the wars a bit with the treatment as well. But I mean, other than that, I suppose I asked the question, why did you get what you got? Because they did your DNA testing, didn't they?
Yeah, after my second diagnosis, I had a genetics test, and the whole genes that got tested actually came back normal. There was only one gene that came back with a change, which means I'm prone to breast and ovarian cancers, but I'm monitored for that. But yeah, everything else, even the cancer gene, it all came back normal, which was a bit, it didn't add up. But
well, yeah. But I mean, presumably doctors are fascinated to put you under the microscope and stuff.
Oh yeah, every time when results come back, they always say, "Oh, we've not heard of this before," or "We're not quite sure," and that's never really a shock because it seems to be a common thing with me. I tend to baffle the consultants.
yeah, they're like, "Oh, look, there's a puzzle." Anyway. But other than that, I mean, what, you're 26 now?
Yeah.
I mean, you're prime of life now. So what do you enjoy doing now? When we leave all that other bad stuff behind, what's the thing that makes you smile?
So, in general, I just want to enjoy everything big and little. So, making memories is my priority, with friends, and enjoying little trips to places. But I mean, dancing's always been a big passion of mine. I started that when I was younger, and I've carried on with that, and I think that's part of why I've stayed so strong as well, to have that physical aspect to help me keep things balanced. So yeah, I'd say that's a massive thing that I enjoy and a big part of my lifestyle.
Brilliant. So we'll just take a short break here, but we'll come back probably after the 1 o'clock news and talk a bit about, well, let's pick up on that dancing thing, shall we, and that musical, because I know you've got a charity event organised in April, it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
So we'll come back and talk a bit about that after the news, if that's all right.
Yeah, that'd be great.
All right, brilliant. I know, let's play a bit of Leo Sayer, Thunder in My Heart. Keep feeling fascination. So we're back speaking to my special guest, Kimberley, and we spent a couple of the two last things that we did talking about kind of the past. Let's talk a bit about the future. I understand that you're actually setting up a charity event. Can you tell us all about that?
Yeah, I'm organising a live performance showcase, which I've called Life with the Ribbon Charity Gala. That was inspired by my social media awareness page that I've got, and it's in aid of 3 charities that have supported me throughout my cancer diagnoses. I've chosen Beads of Courage UK, Macmillan Cancer Support, and Starlight Children's Foundation, because throughout my diagnoses I got so much support from all of them, and I know how much it meant and the coping mechanisms they enabled me to have through that. So I want to give that back, and so I'm holding this showcase, a live performance show featuring West End stars, performing industry professionals, local dance groups, and yeah, just a really good live entertainment night, which is just going to be a celebration really to raise money for the charities.
Now, you said sort of West End shows. Which West End shows does it feature?
So I've got some performers that have performed in Les Mis, Waitress, Pretty Woman, Cinderella, and lots of local productions as well. So there's a real mix of things for everyone really. And
tell me about the dance troupe.
So the dance troupe that's involved is local, actually, Maria Penrose Dance Studios. I'm choreographing a routine, which I'll also be in with the seniors. So yeah, that's going to be in there amongst that, and they'll be performing amongst the performers as well. Okay,
and if we want to find out more about that online, where would we look?
So there's a direct link to tickets, but the information all about the events on my social media pages, which is Kimberley's Life with the Ribbon, and yeah, there's tickets on there, there's a donation page, and yeah, everything's directly linked up to Ticket Source.
What date is that show on?
This is the 13th of April, and it's at Unity Hall in Wakefield.
Brilliant. All right. Well, look, everybody, I mean, Kimberley's been a brilliant guest. I am absolutely sure it's going to be a brilliant show as well. So just remind everybody where they can find the tickets again.
This is on the Ticket Source website under my event, which is Life with the Ribbon Charity Gala.
Brilliant. All right. Well, Kimberley, can you stick around and read the weather for me again at 1:30?
Yeah, sure.
All right. So, special guest Kimberley. We should be back with the weather later on. What should we do in the meantime? I know. Let's play the Rembrandts. I'll be there for you. That's what friends are for, aren't they?